Work session of March 31st, 2014 to order. Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll call, please?
Dominic, Johnson, Williams, Lynn, Bowman, Baker, Lynch, Escaday, Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson. We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Mr. Commissioner Bowman, if you will say the invocation, and we'll ask Commissioner Thibodeau to say the pledge, please.
Wilson is tight.
Yes, sir.
Say pledge.
Commissioner Thibodeau.
Everyone, please bow your heads. Oh, gracious Father, we come once again thanking you for this day. Lord, we just ask you to just guide not only this meeting, but just continue to watch over this city, this parish, Lord, and our great state. Lord, allow everything in this meeting and forthgoing be productive and progressive and pleasing in your sight. It's in these and other blessings we ask in your Son, Jesus' name, Holy Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all.
Sorry.
You don't need it.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have citizen comments.
Citizens who wish to address the commission must fill out a comment card and forward it to myself or the clerk. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Mr. Clerk, do you have any? I have one. Do you have any? Okay, we have one comment card. Ms. Dara Sanders. She will be representing the Metropolitan Planning Commission. Wants to make a few comments. Dara, if you could give us your name and address for the record, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Dara Sanders, Master Plan Administrator for the Metropolitan Planning Commission, 505 Travis Street, Suite 440, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71101. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to give you all an update on the progress of the Unified Development Code. Our consultants have completed their research and analysis of all of our existing codes and policies and procedures, and have made a set of recommendations on what we need to keep, what we need to change, and how to move forward. They are making final revisions to that actual report, which you will all receive once it is finalized. When it is finalized, we'll be moving forward with public workshops to present that report to our stakeholders. There will be 5 public workshops. They will be distributed amongst 5 different locations in the planning area. They're not meeting assignments. They're simply trying to make it easy or more convenient for our citizens and stakeholders to get to a particular meeting that may be near their job or near their home. As those are scheduled, I will absolutely notify you of those meetings. Those meetings will be posted on the MPC website as well as the Shreveport Caddo UDC.com website, and I will, of course, ask the parish administrator if he would allow me to post those meetings on the parish website. And I can answer any questions that you might have.
I think it's just a comment, so we're not really supposed to have any questions. But
I'm sorry.
I'm going to allow it. Commissioner Lynch.
She's a guest.
She's not a guest. Commissioner Lynch, you got a question?
Is Stephen here today? Oh, Stephen is not here. I'll be here to answer any questions or concerns that you might have about.
I just wanted to get an update on the MPC director, but I'll ask you after the meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
I ask you, will that, those meeting notices, will we be able to share it on Facebook? And
Oh,
it's going to be, do y'all
yes,
have a little
ma'am.
link that'll allow you to do that?
Yes, ma'am. The master plan has a Facebook page, and so I'm the administrator for that Facebook page. So we will be creating Facebook events through that Facebook page, and of course it's going to be a public event, so we'll be trying to promote it as much as possible.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Commissioner Lynn.
Will you state the UDC website address for the public?
Yes, www.shreveportcaddoudc.com.
Thank you. That's all.
No other visitors, so we'll move to our next item, Mr. Clerk.
I think we did go by agenda additions, in case there were any.
Okay, I'm sorry. Does anybody have any additions to be made to the agenda?
Chairman, I do, but I don't have the information from Ms. Helen Godfrey. It's concerning the payday loan. It's trying to take their interest rate up to a high level, and they want to keep it at 36%. We can reach out to Ms. Helen Godfrey. We want to send a resolution. They want to take it beyond 36% to like 52 or some percent.
Oh, my God.
They're trying to cap it at 36. So if you can reach out to Ms. Godfrey regarding that.
Hang on a second, let Commissioner Williams
You
speak.
can reach out to Ms. Godfrey at the credit union regarding that piece of legislation. I hope that we can get that and pass the resolution, say we oppose that. Our people are being taxed to death as it is. Can't pay them payday loans back as it is, and they take advantage of poor people. They all posted up in our neighborhoods, taking advantage of our people, and you know, they know that most of them are ignorant and uneducated, unlearned, and understanding we've got enough with the boats and all the other pawn shop preying on them. So enough is enough, and that we need to find a way.
What is that, she's wanting us to present a resolution to the legislators to request that the interest rate not be increased, is that kind of what it is?
Okay.
Dr. Wilson, if you could get with Ms. Smith and find out which, you know, we can just hopefully amend the agenda Thursday to place that on if we have it available by then.
All right, thank you.
Okay, our next item, Mr.
Next,
Clerk.
we move to visitors. We have Lou Papier and Brandon Kraft, Southport, Louisiana Science Center.
They'll come forward.
I don't think they're here.
Is Mr. Lou Papier and Brand Kraft present?
No, sir, they're not here.
They're not here? Okay, I'm sorry. Commissioner Lynn?
What they were going to ask is that the monies that were allocated for Title I allowance of Caddo Parish students to attend and go to Cyport, they wanted that to be able to transfer over into the summer months, and it would not require any additional monies from Caddo Parish. It would just simply just, I don't even think we need to vote on it or do anything about it. If legal could check on their cooperative endeavor agreement, as long as it's not pertaining to month A to month B and it's just open-ended for the whole year, then we don't need to act on it.
The cooperative endeavor agreement does not specify which months, it just specifies which students can be served. I mean, as far as them being Title I students. So as long as they can verify that or have another way of income verification, then there shouldn't be an issue.
Does it exclude the summer months, or does it include allowing them to go there during the summer?
It doesn't specify any months at all.
Then there's no vote for us, and so there's really no reason for them to show up, which is something that I tried to relay, but they're all good. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Baker?
Well, he just brought something to my attention. Ask you a question. How do they prove Title I?
Schools are designated by the school board as Title I schools based on a certain number of income level students that they have.
No, how does the organization, how do they verify that that the kids are Title I kids?
Usually they will go through the principals of the schools or get lists or something that doesn't necessarily have student identifying information on it, but may give a number of how many students were Title I students, or that the school is a Title I school as designated by the school board.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, we'll move on to our next item, which is administration report. Dr. Wilson?
Yes, sir. President Dominic, we just had one item today. Please set your stations are the youth employment application for the summer. We're kind of getting geared up for that now, and please, whoever you're recommending, we need to have it back by May 16th so we can go ahead and get them processed and ready to start as soon as school out.
Is Cheryl McGee the contact person on this for us?
Yes, sir, she is.
And what age did we start at? I can't remember. Do we know?
16. What age we started?
It's the 16.
Gotta be 16?
16.
Gotta be 16. Okay, I got 3 commissioners and Mr. Bryan.
Yes, well, each commissioner had recommended one. There are some, I think last year, some commissioners didn't recommend any at all, so I guess that goes back into the pool.
Let me have yours, man.
So one commissioner, one student, you know, usually what we do.
Jim, let me have yours.
Okay.
All right.
Is that all your admin report that you have, Dr. Wilson?
Yes, sir, it is.
I have some for it.
Okay, go ahead.
You know,
Commissioner Williams?
I asked on last week's concerning the, do we have the authority to insert any language into our contracts for ensuring that they pay their employees at least $10 an hour for the pay for low income for the employee. However, I got some back from the assistant attorney and
Parish attorney.
assistant parish attorney regarding that. I'm confused in some opinions in other counties. They seem to think we can, but down in Louisiana seem to think we can't. So I'd like to get with you later and maybe elaborate on that more. Maybe not today, but sometime soon. And my second question to that is, what is the average pay for our employees here?
Above 10.10 an hour.
Is that above 10.10?
Yes.
Yes,
That's correct.
I say if it wasn't, we need to.
We don't have anybody below that.
That's great. So people, employees look great. So looking forward to working to Caddo Parish is a great thing.
Summer working people.
What I was talking about was when we do a contract and they win the contract, make sure they at least pay their workers from a parish point of view.
people that contract with us.
Yeah, the people that contract pay their low paid people at the bottom at least $10 an hour. We don't have to wait on the federal government or the state to take a role. We can take a local role and do that by some type of executive order or through the parish or whatever. But getting the opinion from the assistant attorney, he informed me that we weren't able to do that because of the statute. So I would like to talk to you more in private, more about that, maybe not today, but thank you for the work that's been done on it.
Okay, we'll let you continue to talk to Dr. Wilson and parish attorney, and I guess if you wanted to take some action in the future, we'll have to look at it at that time. So I guess we can go ahead and move to communiques and committee reports. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk?
That's correct.
Okay, we are at communiques and committee reports. Commissioner Lynch.
Yes, I have a question, and I may be late on this, but I'm looking at this letter here that William Robinson wrote to the commission and to Dr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dr. Wilson has responded to that. Each one of us got the response letter too. Have you seen that?
Yes.
I'm talking about Commissioner Lynch.
I don't recall seeing it.
She's got it in the mail today.
Should be in your box.
Oh, today?
Yeah, it just was in it today.
Oh,
Put it in
okay.
your box last week, Commissioner.
Okay.
Oh, we can get your copy. Does Everett have his with him?
Thank you. Yeah, I would like to. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Commissioner Epperson?
Just like to ask Mr. Wilson to give Mr. Hankins, the South Camp operator, a thank you. He and his crew came out Friday after the storm. We had about a 60 or 80 foot pine tree that went down across the road. And Caddo Fire District 3 came out initially, and I helped them cut it to get it passable because it was getting dark, and they had some other calls, Elysian Fields, Moore and Sport, and another place where trees were down. They came out and got it cleaned up, even though it was still lightning and the rain and stuff was still coming down. So if you would thank Mr. Hankins and his crew for coming out Friday. Fortunately, we didn't lose any power, but that was the main thing. We did have one tree that came down on one home, and that's why Fire District 3 had to come through there, and it was blocked with that tree before our people could get out. But the fireman had a chainsaw, and we got out and helped them to get through to the house where the tree had fallen down on. So we want to make sure you thank them for coming out.
Yes.
Also, we had on Friday we had our initial Veterans Celebration Week committee meeting, kicking off 2014. Of course, the parade and honor ceremony will be held Sunday, November the 9th at the Louisiana State Fairgrounds again. So once again, we ask anyone that would like to participate. We've already scheduled our next upcoming 3 meetings, May, June, and July be the fourth Friday of each month at 11 a.m. And we're gonna take a break like July and August because of vacation and back to school. But things should go a lot more smoother this year because this is our third year, and we got us a good roadmap that we can travel. That's all I have.
One more thing on, just follow up on you, Commissioner Epperson. I know that we said in your meeting the other day that the ads are for sale, so if anybody wishes to purchase an ad, they can, correct?
Right. Yeah, and we have a sheet that we can get out. We have a good deal on ads. Even like certain size ads, you can get free tickets to the fair. So it's a good package, and the earlier the better because the book double in size this year. So I imagine it's going to be even stronger this year.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I just want to piggyback on what Commissioner Epperson said. At some point, I think, Todd, that is a lot of burden on one person as far as our staff. I don't know at what time you're going to maybe hire an additional person, but that should put a tremendous amount of workload on our staff. So hopefully you're looking at that as an opportunity to maybe assist with that endeavor as well. So I hope you be conscious of what's about to undertake and pre-plan for that. Secondly, the Juvenile Justice Committee will meet immediately after this meeting, short and sweet meeting regarding to follow up on what we discussed in the last meeting concerning a social worker. I met with all the judges on, Commissioner Lynn and I met with the judges on Monday, was it Monday? Monday of last week, just to discuss. Commissioner Lynn asked all the questions, and I hope he got all the answers that he needed. I asked that they email every commissioner regarding the responsibility and duty of the individual. I hope that you got it from their receptionist, Ms. Gibson. You should have got an email from their department regarding that. And I also asked, if you look at Gibson, I also asked that certain, all the members on the board, that some judges call you if you have any more questions, and I hope they've done that. So I hope they did their due diligence to inform you, so we want to be spend a long time in the meeting. I hope that what you need, that you can have an opportunity to look over and get the answer that you needed so we can have a quick meeting. But I look forward to that meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Commissioner Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to say we had an Animal Services Committee meeting today at 2 o'clock, and we have representatives from TZI, which is the Target Zero Institute, and there's also a meeting tonight, correct, Dr. Wilson, that we're also helping with. Sir?
Yes, sir, at 6 o'clock at SRAC headquarters.
That's right. That's correct, at the old fire station tonight. And also, I heard Commissioner Epperson, you were speaking about the crew came out and cut. Did you say you were out there too?
Yes, sir. I'm not a lazy self-serving do-nothing commissioner. I was out there too.
My power did.
Now that wasn't at me, of course, because I was just about to say that's just like you when we were at the garden.
It wasn't about you.
Oh, somebody else.
They know who it's about.
Okay. My power did get out, and I was at the barber shop, and half of my hair was cut all day. I had to stay there and wait till it came back home.
It wasn't about you.
I was like,
they know,
you
they
got
know
the
who it's
green
about.
thumb and everything.
All my hair.
That's it, Mr. President. I appreciate it.
Okay, Commissioner Epperson, your turn. Now you can tell us who you're talking about.
Okay.
Right. Now that we got that clear.
You to know and you to find out. I forgot to, let's see, Robert isn't here, but Jimmy and Ken. Hank also came out just prior to that storm. We had a call at 4231 McMichael. And they have I don't know, did Hank get back with you? He hasn't had a chance probably. But anyway, it's a terrible drainage problem over there. And everything we've done is just wash it away. So he'll be getting with you on that. We'd like to meet on that. 4231 McMichael. I mean, it is bad. And we went out just before that storm broke and checked it out. I hadn't gone back over there since, but it's terrible. That's all.
Okay, next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have President's Report.
Okay, my first thing was, if I remember correctly, we are having pictures Thursday, is that correct?
It's been changed to the 17th,
Okay, so,
because we were going to have some commissioners It'll be
Okay,
out
so
on Thursday.
our
I wore my
annual
suit today.
pictures, our annual pictures will be a Thursday, the 17th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next thing, I just wanted to say that I did attend the Veteran Day celebration that Commissioner Epperson is in charge of, and there was a great turnout. I know I started kidding with Ken's son that he must have told everybody that Commissioner Epperson was going to feed us lunch because we were barely able to fit in there, had to bring in a lot of chairs. So if it continues, we're going to have our meetings out here. So it looks like we are off to a wonderful start on that. And Commissioner Johnson and I did attend the Firefighters Award ceremony a few days ago, and that was a nice event too. So that's all I have on the President's report, other than say that I was at a basketball game this past, I think it was Friday, and it got a little bit out of hand. It was in Oil City, and was able to contact the sheriff's office. They had a very quick response, and I've already thanked the sheriff, but I just wanted to publicly thank him for the officers getting out there and doing a good job. So.
One moment, Scott. I played in a celebrity game that's sitting there with some young kids this week, and I had my Bengay on, and I put WD-40 on to keep them off, and they slipped off.
J's on.
Oh no, Jay's on your feet.
Yeah. Real talk. I played.
You should have invited me out there. Okay, I see no other commissioners on. We'll move to our next item, Mr. Clerk.
We have no old business. We move to new business. Authorized introduction of ordinance number 5391 of 2014, providing for the issuance and sale of general obligation bonds, series 2014. Application of proceeds thereof or funding of certain bonds.
So move to Thursday.
I have a motion by Commissioner Williams, seconded by
Commissioner Bowman.
anybody want to second this?
I said second.
Okay,
Bowman.
seconded by Commissioner Bowman to move this to Thursday.
Bowman, your name is way down here. You might want to move it out.
No, we have
something's
some
wrong with
commissioners that
mine.
wish to speak. Commissioner Lynch?
Yes, can you tell me what we're doing here?
Yes, ma'am. We're refunding a portion of the 2007 bond issue that we had. Since you all are now AAA rated, we feel we can get lower interest rate. So we're just
Refinance.
Yeah, basically refinancing, reissuing the bonds at a lower interest rate.
And I think Commissioner Escaday asked some questions about this. Is going to save us money. We'll not, whatever money we save as far as interest rate will behoove us to go forward with this. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
President,
I'm sorry.
I have the floor.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were through.
No, do you know how much we're projecting to save?
We're anticipating a net savings of about $406,000.
Now, are the same people will the same people be involved in this issue as on the original?
Yes, would you issue the original? That's who could be involved in the process.
And is this like professional services, or did this go out to bid
Ma'am, I
to
didn't
do this, to do the refunding?
Are we required to do this, you said?
Professional services.
Professional
It did go out for
Go out to bid.
Oh, no, we
It
don't
did go
have
out for
to,
bid.
it's a refunding, so we don't have to bid. This would be a bank qualified, meaning that the banks, we would negotiate with the banks to try to get a lower interest rate. This wouldn't be a bid process because it's a refunding.
Is there a process in place to choose which bank you choose, or is it just?
Yes, we contract with an underwriter, and they contact the different banks to determine what interest rate they may offer us.
Thank you. I'm finished.
Commissioner Lynn?
My question's been answered.
I'm sorry.
I paid.
Commissioner Johnson?
I just want to make sure that you saw my name.
Okay, we're just going to declare this beat up on President Dominic Day.
Do to you.
I'm
gonna do to you.
Get nice. All right.
Call it down.
Next item.
We need to vote.
Right.
Okay, vote on. Move to Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that passes 10-0. Next item.
Authorize introduction of ordinance number 5392 of 2014, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus, and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell.
So moved for Thursday.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Johnson. See no one on the board. Please vote to move this forward. Please vote. And that passes 10-0. Next item.
Authorize resolution number 11, 2014, urging and requesting the state of Louisiana to adopt special signage to designate streets and highways named for veterans, active duty military, or military activities.
Recommend move for Thursday.
It's moved by Commissioner Epson, seconded by the chair to move this to Thursday. There's needed.
I didn't know if everyone had seen what we have in mind. Have a color scheme of, I was intending to email it to Todd where he could have put it up, but I can pass it around. We have more detail Monday. We did make the presentation at the Police Year Association's conference in Baton Rouge, and there's been a lot of interest in that particular signage. I don't know if you saw the one that we put up for Mr. Pettaway. So we're hoping that we can use that same color scheme, with the state, whatever the laws may be, as well as in the parish. So we have further pictures of it Thursday.
And let's see, Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Ken, was that the blue one?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Red, white, and blue?
Right.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
I saw the one.
I know it's a class act if you done it, Ken.
Okay.
Okay, please vote at this time. That passes 10-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize appointment of Carlos Colon, Caddo Parish Poet Laureate.
Move to Thursday.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Lynch, second by Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Lynch?
Yes, this is a companion confirmation. The actual creation of the Poet Laureate is on our agenda, on the consent agenda for Thursday. The process whereby recommendation would be made to the commission has been completed. What you have at your desk today is the letter from the state Poet Laureate making her recommendation, as well as the amended resolution changing the period to annual, as well as including a removal clause. And so both of those will be considered on Thursday. This is
Okay, Commissioner Johnson?
I was just going to ask Ms. Lynch, in the letter mentioned about a second candidate,
Yes,
and you never mentioned who the second one was.
I think it referenced a name, Mr. Hamilton, maybe?
I must have overlooked it, I didn't see
Yeah, in
it.
the fourth paragraph,
Did you go?
but it doesn't. She spent most of it talking, just
Right.
dealing with her recommendation.
Okay, all right.
Commissioner Thibodeau?
This selection actually is not according to the process that we were originally told about. We were told that there would be a selection process whereby 3 people would be recommended to the commission, and then I assumed that we would be given selections of their work, or they would present something to us themselves, and then the commission would choose out of those final 3. From what I understand, only 2 people even signed up, and I'm not sure how people were contacted to determine if they were interested or not. So either, it appears that either there was very little time or effort made to get people to sign up, or there was very little interest in people signing up. You only have 2 candidates. So all I'm saying is, if 2 is all that's going to sign up, then I would at least like to see some of each of their works, or perhaps have them come and make a short 5-minute presentation where maybe they read to us something of their works so that the commission can choose who they want. I'm very disappointed that there's only 2 candidates. That doesn't speak very highly of the selection process. That's all I have.
Okay, Commissioner Lynch?
Definitely, if I could ask Pam Atchison to come up and just kind of explain what the process was and what, see what happens when you show up, you have to speak. I said, see what happens when you show up, you have to speak.
Ms. Atchison, how are you doing today?
Thank
Can
you,
you give us your
Mr.
name and
President.
address for the record, and then tell us a little bit about how this process works, please?
Thank you. Pam Atchison, Shreveport Regional Arts Council at 801 Crockett Street. Thanks to you all. So, thank you very
welcome.
much, Mr. President, Commissioner Lynch, and Commissioner, I started to say Bowman, I'm sorry. Why is Bowman in front of your name instead of Thibodeau?
We all look
I'm
alike.
sorry.
We all look alike.
True, you're way over here.
Actually, we had
Commissioner
a
Thibodeau,
class
excuse me.
in before, and I think
We had before our meeting, we had some high schools taking a field trip, and obviously they were pulling a prank on
The
Mr.
commissioners.
Bowman and Thibodeau.
All righty. Well,
Now, what does it say in front of mine is what I want to know. Hope it don't say Commissioner Williams.
no, sir, I'm going to just leave it at.
You love it. Yeah,
However, there is great alliteration.
Okay, Ms. Atchison, go ahead.
I hope you heard me say there's great poetic alliteration in front of your name. If I may just clarify, let's all remember that the idea for the Caddo Poet Laureate came the second week of March. And you all have not yet approved that there is to be a Caddo Poet Laureate. And when people don't know, there is a bit of what we call in the arts world a chilling effect. Are we going to do it or not? And it was a huge process, as I have tried to say in committee meeting, but allow me to say now. This process is based on being nationally, having your work in national publications. That's what the Poet Laureate is about, is selecting a poet in your area, and that's why there is no other in the state of Louisiana, no other parish and no other city that selects a Poet Laureate, because most poets in a community are not nationally published. So the first qualification was that national publication. You had 2 poets who felt they were qualified, and I think that that's really the most important thing to say. No one wants to set themselves up for, I'm not eligible in the beginning on a very tedious process. I happen to have all of Carlos Colon's resume with me. I do not have, and I brought it particularly because you were a little bit concerned about some of the work, and I have 3 copies. I could quickly get over here the rest of them, but if you'd like me to pass out at least 3 copies, I'm happy to. You give me direction. Do you want me to, sir?
That's fine, sure.
I'll
Give
just
them to
start
the
with-
clerk.
I'll start with Mike right here, and then would you determine who should get the other ones? How do you want to determine? These are the whole
There's only a limited number that can
presentations.
read on this.
Okay, Commissioner Thibodeau, you're out of order.
I'll try to finish very quickly and say, I think that the most important thing is to know is that Carlos Colon was nominated by several other poets in the community. They really believed that his long commitment to poetry, his lifelong career as a poet for more than 25 years, his work at the Shreve Memorial Library, where he also used that as a platform to promote poetry. The fact that he is sort of nationally renowned for his character called Elvis Haiku, and some of you have seen him dress as Elvis and read Elvis poetry and perform it, are reasons why others who are poets in the community felt that this was an award that might go to Carlos, and he was nominated. Poetic X, who is Hugh Hamilton, was the other applicant, and he is an outstanding artist, an outstanding poet, and his work has been published nationally on the National Endowment for the Arts website. He was the Poet of the Month in April when he spoke in front of the chairman for the National Endowment for the Arts. There's no doubt that his work is excellent. But in this particular case, the Poet Laureate, Ava Heyman from Baton Rouge, felt that Poetics work is designed as spoken word, and it does not read grammatically as well as a written document for being written up in a publication as it does on CD. And he is a spoken word artist who has 4 CDs that are out there. And of course, again, we are the recipient at the Arts Council of some of his great work as well on our walls. But his poetry is custom designed poetry. He writes specifically for events, oftentimes like he wrote for the fire at the art station. And so in this particular case, based on the number of nomination letters that Carlos received from other fine poets in our community, based on his actual publications, which is such a prerequisite, and based on one other thing that Ms. Heyman refers to in her letter recommending Carlos, the fact that he has the time to go and represent the parish, because most of these representations are pro bono for the most part. I mean, it may be $100 here and there that people ask for a workshop, but he is no longer dependent on making his living from his work or from his library work since he's retired. And she felt strongly that he would make the best poet laureate to do the work of the parish. And I think she said those things in her letter, but I would just extend them a little bit. So please, there's no lack of interest in the opportunity. There was more an opportunity, I think, for poets to try to express some solidarity, if you will, to the award and to the person in our community who's been the longest known as a published poet. That's Carlos's reputation. He would be here on Thursday if you all would like, but also Poetic X would be here on Thursday, and I'm sure nothing would make either of them happier than reading their poems for you. You'll find that Poetic is highly animated and interesting, and Carlos, again, is, if you let him wear his Elvis suit, by golly, you'll be surprised at how that librarian comes out as a full-on character. But I hope I've clarified why there weren't more applications. I really do not believe it was a lack of interest. I really believe that it was those who are professionals in our community felt that Carlos was deserving and they would get behind him, and wrote many letters of support, and others in our community had 1 week to respond, so they already had to be nationally published, and not all of our poets are.
Ms. Atchison, if you'll hang on, I have some other commissioners who wish to speak.
Okay, excuse me.
Let's see, Commissioner Lynch, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Thibodeau? Let's see, he's spoken on this issue already?
Yeah.
Hang on,
You said this started about the middle of March. Who set the time frame for when applications could no longer be turned in? In other words, who said that today we had to have a person when we haven't even voted on the resolution to have a poet laureate? Although I believe it will pass, why would giving people an opportunity to apply, why would it end before we even voted to have one?
Let me clarify.
No, I'd like to hear from her.
Well, I'm the author.
I know, but she's the one that is speaking on the selection process, and that's what I wanted to hear, because earlier she said that there was only a short time period and that others may have applied. You said there was something, what term did you use? Chilling effect, or?
The time frame.
Because the time frame was so short.
Required you not to experiment with whether you were professional or not. You had to be published. You would always have to be published, but it didn't give people an opportunity to try to go out there and get published as a prerequisite. And the time frame, I believe, is because National Poetry, I was just going to say, I believe the main driver is that April is National Poetry Month, and the desire was for our parish to be able to submit a name nationally to organizations like NACO and be able to demonstrate that in time for National Poetry Month we had a poet who could be published in NACO publications and other things as well. And for the Art Break Festival to perform and be announced there. I'm sorry. You go ahead. I mean,
Well, that's,
I don't know what to say.
the initial was to try to get it done in preparation for National Poetry Month, which is the month of April, and Art Break is also in April, so that that person would have time to be incorporated into some of the events that you all already have planned and working with the students. And this is the first one, you know, like you said, it will give, you know, next year them time to some other poets to become nationally published. And, you know, it's the first time. So I mean, I'm pleased with the process because you all followed the state guidelines. It was a shortened time period, but I'm satisfied with what you all did. How it was handled.
I truly believe that in the future, it is a 12-week process, and I think that we'll be able to get ahead of the process in the future, but I don't. This is rather difficult because as an arts council, we're not allowed to ever judge the artistic merits of an artist or an art organization. It's in our bylaws not to. So I'll tread water carefully in saying I think that every poet in Shreveport, including Hugh Hamilton, would say that the timeline has not compromised the quality of the applications that you received. I did try to say to Ava, who is the Poet Laureate, that she needed to put them in rank order, and her rank would be Carlos and then Poetic. I still fully believe that you all have the opportunity to say who you would choose, but she was defending her choice based on ability to work and the actual evidence in national publications. She definitely believes that Poetic X is an excellent artist.
Okay, well, I don't want to prolong all this because I know it's going to pass anyhow, but I'm just disappointed in the whole process. This is not what we were told would happen. In fact, we're putting the cart before the horse, recommending somebody for the position when we haven't even passed the resolution to even have a poet laureate. So that was my concern, and I don't feel like this was the final choice is being made by the commission. It's being made by a commissioner, and I think that's not what we set out to do.
Well, if I may say, the Poet Laureate was asked to have a decision prior to April 1. Her job was to take all the applications that came in as of last Tuesday and review them, there were 2, and have her recommendation to the commissioner, to Commissioner Lynch by April 1. Before April 1, excuse me, which is today, March 30th, the tightest the schedule could be. And quite honestly, in light of some of the concerns that you expressed at the last commission meeting, I personally felt strongly that if you had a chance to see the poet who had been recommended, it might ease some of your concerns about what kind of poetry might be spoken or presented in the name of the parish of Caddo, and I know that's been a concern of yours, so I honestly thought that seeing the poetry would mitigate some of those concerns.
That's all.
Commissioner Lynn.
I recognize and accept the issues that are being brought up, and they do make sense. And it makes sense the time frame and the accelerated time frame and the cart are 2 things running consecutive. And it would have been really nice if we had known that initially, which I don't feel we were. However, without that knowledge and seeing everything now, I'm acceptant of it as being something that we needed to do before April. And I hope that next year there is a more open, expanded, advertised promotion for this. I know both of these artists, and they're both fabulous artists, and they're both very well deserved. And I'm thrilled for Carlos to have won this, and it's a great honor for him. And I think he will represent Caddo Parish very well. And so thank you for working as well as you did with the short time frame that you had. In the future, whenever we see the cart and the horse going back and forth, we would like that information, whether from us communicating better or from you communicating that to us. Anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Commissioner Baker.
We're voting today on a resolution in support of getting a poetic
Well, that's coming a little bit later. The resolution that's on the table right now is to name and appoint
Authorize the appointment.
Carlos,
Right.
whatever his last name is.
Once
How do
it's
we get to
established.
choose him? Who
Well,
chose
she
him?
just was
It's already
explaining that the state poet laureate was the one that initially chose that, if I'm correct, and you see you have a letter in front of you from Miss Ava Hammond, is that her name? Am I correct, Miss?
Yes, Commissioner Baker, when Commissioner Lynch asked if we would bring all the poets together for a meeting, we had a week's notice of a meeting, and every poet who is on the Northwest Louisiana Directory that lives in Caddo Parish was invited to come to the meeting. And we asked them how they would like to see the poet laureate chosen. We offered up a number of opportunities of how it could be, how a juror of some form could recommend to you all the top 3 choices. That's exactly what we communicate. That's what the guidelines say, is that the juror would recommend the top 3 choices, and the commission would select who would be the poet laureate. And to a person who attended that meeting, and there were about 10, and I've asked if they will come on Thursday so you could at least see that there was a distinct process. To a person, they asked if the state poet laureate could be the one to be the judge of their work. And so we honored that request.
So she chose this person.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're not going to be the one choosing.
Well, it's a
Baker's
recommendation.
recommendation.
Well, if we vote for him today, that means we're choosing
We're
him.
not voting, it's just moving this to Thursday. But it's a recommendation. We want to name somebody else, we can do that.
So if today we're just moving this guy's name to Thursday.
Yes. If you want to recommend someone else Thursday, then you should have the opportunity.
Recommend me there if you want.
No, I'm thinking about recommending you. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. We'll stay on line with all the commissioners. Commissioner Williams?
Yeah, I want to put a rose on her nose so we can continue.
Oh, Lord. Oh, okay, that's part of this non-public work.
Put me in, Coach. Let me just say, for the record, I will be supporting this. However, I do understand that sometimes good ideas, because of the time frame, oftentimes don't meet the time deadline. I think everybody putting the wheels in motion, the process in motion, to be able to have this be the first, to be able to make a cultural connection to our generation, culture and the arts, and this how this new generation speak to each other is through poetic justice. Commissioner Thibodeau is trying to be poetic justice. I do understand that he's concerned about the integrity and maybe the defacing and the name and the language that goes in hope that we're not associated with. I respect your concern. And I do feel by coming through an organization such as SHRAC, who has a well-documented, demonstrated track record, ensuring that the quality goes out before their name's attached to anything, they involved in anything. So I respect the process and how you organized the group of young people together and decided how they want to have their own protocol and allowed the state to come in. And they got together themselves and worked it out without having government come in. So I like the way that the process, how you achieve to get to where we at. And if there's a point where we don't like what you're introducing today, we always look at a minute and ask someone else, recommend someone else on Thursday. But I do like the process you've done, and I think we need to think outside the box. We live in the 21st century. Things are not the same. It ain't just the same old simple poem they had years ago. Things are different, and people are very creative, and people can say poem without even writing anything down. That's just how creative these young people are. They ought to be able to utilize their energy and how they see fit to make this world a better place. So I will be supporting this, and I do understand Commissioner Thibodeau's concern. However, I feel we're pretty safe to say that I think it's in good hands, like all state, in dealing with the people that's behind it. And I want to commend Commissioner Lynch for going across the globe to find some exciting innovative things to bring back to this little old town in Shreveport and Caddo, to get our young people involved and put us on the map for having poems here. So I'm going to put a rose on your nose come Thursday. All right. Thank you. I'm finished.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we please vote at this time? Ms. Hatchison, thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
Hope to see you back Thursday. That passes 9-1. Mr. Clerk, next item.
Authorize reappointment of Maxie Smith, Lakeview Waterworks District, term expired March 17, 2014.
Move to Thursday.
Second, moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by the chair. Move this to Thursday. Please vote. Next item, that passes 10-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize special resolution recognition to the North Caddo Magnet High Lady Rebels, 2A Ladies Basketball State Champions.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Yes, sir.
State champion.
Yes. Please vote. And they're planning on being here. I talked to Angela today, so hopefully they'll be here. That passes 10-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Authorize special resolution of recognition to Terry Pugh, Mind, Body, and Soul Salon, and Community Volunteer.
So move.
Second, okay.
Thank you.
Moved by Commissioner Bowman, seconded by Commissioner Lynn.
Yep.
Do we have any discussion? Commissioner Bowman, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I just want a point of clarification. I wanted to add Commissioner Williams' name as well, as I've already duly noted to the clerk.
Okay. We'll make sure that happens, Mr. Clerk. Please vote. And that passes 10-0.
Next one,
item,
the
Mr. Clerk.
consent agenda.
Okay, we have the consent agenda. Commissioner Epperson has one thing before we adjourn. Commissioner Epperson?
That brouhaha at the basketball game.
Yeah.
You referee?
No. I was spectating.
If I'd seen you out there, I wouldn't have to call no sheriff. Now you should be able to get that under control.
I'll tell you about it afterwards.
Get the chainsaw out.
I think that was the problem. The referees was the main problem. They didn't straighten out the coaches. The coaches were yelling.
So I just want to let all commissioners know the legislative report is in your box back in the back. Mr. Burns and Donna's kind of keeping track of the bills going through the House. And we provide you an update. It's in your box.
Okay, thank you. We stand adjourned till Thursday.
We got to leave. Won't be long.
Don't forget our juvenile meeting.
I did, but my phone died right when I was.